YouTube, it is I, Sakarma, coming at you with a quick battle from Total Brohammer here. A little 1v1 action. I myself am heading the Tomb Kings against Dark Elves here. For real preface, it's a good match. But I want to preface it by saying that this guy was a little bit toxic. He was sending me some pretty rude messages, and not everyone in the community behaves in such a manner. But just wanted to do a little community call out, like behave yourself, don't be mean to other people. I'll tell you a little bit about what he did at the end of the game, but yeah, this guy was a little rude. But anyways, it was a fun match all the same. So let's get right into it. So we'll do a little army comp. So I myself am heading the Tomb Kings, and really, I am ashamed because I brought Cetra the Imperishable, more like Cetra the Impotent, because he is not GHK. But this guy is, I know him, I played him a few times before. He's quite a competitive player, but he was, a little rude, and we'll talk about a little bit of that again later. But yeah, so I figured GHK he's a great player. He's a great lord, but he's not the most competitive. So I figured Cetra's the guy to bring. Of course, what do I have as loadout here? What did I bring as spells? I brought a lot of spells with them. I brought the Wrath of Tra. Oh, that's his ability, but Ushep's Incantation, of course. Zarian's Incantation of Vengeance. All, pretty much almost all his spells, except for the one that does like the armor piercing on ranged. Just to make him a really versatile lord. And then the Petra's whatever explosion thingamajigger is pretty good. So I brought him. I have 3 skeleton archers, one of the fucked variety. Right here, yeah, they're fucked. In the back here, I have the Kepler guard, supporting like a rear guard action. A couple of tomb guards with halberds on the flanks. A couple of skeleton spearmen. That's some tomb guard in the front with some skeleton warriors, again just for chaff. And then I think I have King X, Scorpion. Pardon me, I burped during my pronunciation. Legion. The middle part is my little nickname for them. So yeah, so they're in the middle there. Again, and then I have 2 Tomb Scorpions, which are fantastic units. They just perform so well at 1,000, and they're kind of like Doom Plague Furnaces, because they just have that sort of janky animation, makes it hard to pin them down. Anyways, moving on. So my opponent here has the Blackguard and Agaron, a few 3 Blackguard Corsairs, 1 Malekith on a Cold One Rider, I'm gonna imagine. Yep, and what does he got? I'm gonna assume Chillwind, and ooh, didn't mean to do that. He's got, yeah, Chillwind. Is that Word of Pain in there? He's got Chillwind, Soul Stealer, Power of Darkness. Yeah, Gaze of Malice. Sorry, yeah, that's Gaze of Malice. Okay, and then he's got a Black Corsair and 2 Hydras, and then along with that, he's got some Dark Riders on with shields in the background to try and hit. Probably like if I brought Chosen the Gods or whatever. Just obviously not going to kill them, but they can distract them. So right away, he brings in his army here, and I start getting some good shots in. Of course, they don't have any shields, although they do have high armor, so they are going to do well. He gets some nice fire damage in there, but and a really good Chillwind, just devastating against these the fucked Legion. But I start to reposition my spears to block off these guys, and move guys use the flank as well. This one I pull in here to try and help this little help over here, and I am going to get a nice side charge in here. He does move these guys around, which is a smart move, but I'll take it. These Black Corsairs are not going to live very long. Meanwhile, over here, these guys are rampaging, but these are skeleton warriors, so they are going to die. But they are taking some serious damage from our archers, and then we start focusing on their... I wanted to take down their infantry first, because I know shooting the Hydras would be great, but the Hydras are just going to heal. So there's no real point to get them. He is able to outmaneuver me here, does some really good damage here. Gets a nice rear charge on these guys with these Dark Riders. I do reposition the King of Hex Scorpion Legion to get into them. He's going to move these guys around, and again he's going to try and get to the fucked Legion, but not the best charge, and they're already fighting some King of Hex. Over here, we are starting to take some serious damage on these Skeleton Spearmen, but that's fine. I set off the King Petra, and of course, Cetra and Perishable has some pretty good stats. Let's slow it down real quick to look at his stats. I don't want to lose too much action. So yeah, his stats are pretty high. I mean, 470 with anti-large, so he's doing 490 damage with 80 melee attack, 55. Like, he is a very good lord, and he's got 4,000 something health. Look at me with the little lisp there. He's got 4,000 something health. What is he? Can I see? Does it show you? Yeah, 4,200 health, which is a lot for a mounted unit. And then, of course, he's going to heal as this comes along. So, yeah, not a bad little guy. Does his job well. And he is taking that Hydra to school. Look at that. The only problem, of course, is that Hydras will heal. I had this other Tomb Scorpion coming to back ride to help against these Dark Riders. This Scorpion, I didn't want to lose him. And, of course, all the damage he's going to do to that Hydra will just be healed back. So I bring him back to fight here. And if the Hydra does come and fight, there's the King of the Hex Scorpion Legion. And then we're going to, just take care of this Blackguard and Agaron, which I'm totally fine with. As you can see, we're doing really good here. A lot of good damage against this War Hydra. And yeah, and every hit just does so much damage. The problem is, I could have chased him off, but I was like, I think I can't lose my caster and my best anti-large answer, running the map the whole time, because it's going to take him forever to get rid of him. So unfortunately, this Hydra is going to come back pretty much with full health, which is, that's the problem with Hydras. The second they retreat, they come right back, stronger than ever. He gets some flaming damage in there, does damage to his guys too, but he gets my Skeleton Spearmen, but didn't hit my elite units, which is, pretty solid. over here, again, I summon up the Ushabti to take care of these Black Orc Corsairs and do some damage on Malekith. This is not a bad little matchup for me. I don't mind it. I have these Tomb Guard in here. He has no anti-large other than the Hydra, which isn't even anti-large. It does hit, obviously pretty tough, 440 armor piercing, but it doesn't have anti-large, so I don't mind that. He does cast Soul Stealer. I sort of push this guy out because I want to get these guys out of the range of effect, but I think it's continuous anyways. But yeah, that was a really good Soul Stealer. I do bring the Scorpion back in to hit these Dark Riders because I want to try and get my archers back online, but my opponent's doing a really good job. Again, wasn't the nicest opponent. Was quite rude to me over the game, but with some of the message, again, I will talk about that later. But he is quite good, quite skilled. So he does get in the back there. I am able to put this Tomb Scorpion right in there, and their charge was really weak, and they're able to just put those guys to bed. Over here, the Ushabti are crumbling. His Hydra's back with full health, which is really unfortunate. I'm trying to keep this guy alive. It's funny that the Dark Elves have better healing in this matchup than the Tomb Kings, but that's just the way it happens. Over here, we have way too many units probably fighting these guys. That's a great Gaze of Malice. Probably should have been more that way. Would have hit more Kepler Guard, but I realized, okay, this is not the fight we want to be having. Let's move these guys in here. These are our anti-large, and I want to protect this Tomb Scorpion. This Tomb Scorpion is finishing off these Dark Riders, who I do have to get rid of so I can, sort of reform my back line. We're able to get rid of his pursuing Corsairs with some bows. We still have two very healthy units. One of them is the fucked version. Yeah, so we still have very healthy units of archers. Just he's going to try and push in with his more Hydras. Again, I'm focusing down his infantry because I need to get rid of them. This is the King of the Hex Scorpion Legion. So this is going to be a very good matchup for these guys. But they're trying to run away. They get a little hooked up on each other. Cetra's over here running around, trying to do some rear guard action. My other Tomb Scorpion is going to come in here and start doing some damage. And yeah, things are looking good for us a little bit. Although the balance bar is going in my opponent's favor. Over here we have them pretty surrounded, and our infantry, we do have the stronger infantry core. Really it comes down to this: if we can keep our archers alive, we have it. He brings his Dark Riders back. I cast Usirian's Incantation of Vengeance, just try and bring those guys down as much as I can, because this is the fucked version of the archers. So it's doing some damage, and they have such little left anyways. And obviously Cetra has pretty high stats, and he's an anti-large unit. So if I could save these guys, that's going to be huge. Over here, these guys are wavering, so instead of running away forever, I decided to charge them. So I turn them around. I see that they're what's the word I'm looking for? Leadership is so low that we're able to just sort of charge back and beat them. These guys have reformed, 38 models, not bad at all, with tons of ammo left. They are going to win that fight, but there's just too few units left, and they have no armor, so we are going to do some serious damage. At 26 melee defense, that's not that great. So we're able to get them. He does cast a nice Solar Stealer over here in this giant blob, but as you can see over here, the Scorpions are doing really well in this battle. We do have the Skeleton Spearmen. We do have some Tomb Guard left. We do have the Kepler Guard, who are just going to deal with these infantry. And really, yeah, it's looking good for us at this point, because the archers have pretty much all reformed. These Dark Riders are alive, but I see that, and I'm going to have these guys go shoot them in a moment. Over here, they're fighting the King of the Hex Scorpion Legion, who are very healthy, and Cetra is over here with a ton of health. Obviously, there's no healing, but look at that charge. Just did such great damage on that Hydra, who is near his healing cap. So yeah, pretty much all his infantry is dead, but I have the Tomb Scorpion left. I have the Kepler Guard left. I have a couple of halberds left. My archers are back. These guys are in really good shape. These guys have shattered. So my archers are pretty much ready to sort of just start teeing off on these Hydras. And you can see already they're doing tons of damage on that, even that first volley. And the Hex Scorpion leads around, and yeah, there's not a lot they can do. Cetra is still very healthy, and all he has is Malekith, probably with almost no magic. This other Hydra's, pretty much ready to call it quits, and at that point my opponent calls it a game. So yeah, so let's go look at the match here. So yeah, so his name is Juan Tien. I actually googled it. In Urdu it means a lover of cancer. So this guy's not really, I guess he's an edgelord, I don't know. Yeah, he was sending me messages. It was just, pretty much, I actually googled some of the messages he was sending me. They were just, straight quotes from Mein Kampf, and I was like, oh, that's pretty lowbrow. I'm not a big fan of that. I mean, why would you do that? Obviously, he's seen our channel or something like that. Maybe he thinks he knows I'm Jewish or whatever. But yeah, he was pretty rude online, and just kind of a toxic guy overall. A good player, GG to him and all that. But yeah, Juan Tian is not a nice guy, and I don't know. I just think the community should, we want to make it more welcoming, and people like this kind of ruin it for the rest of us. So yeah, but other than that, GG to him. Pardon me. GG to him. It was a fun game. I liked his build. Maybe not his manners, but I liked his build. Fuck. I liked his build, not his... Oh, I broke. Okay, back in character. I liked his build, not his manners. But yeah, GG to him. Well played. I was, hopefully I don't have to meet him again, but or at least if I do, he's comes with a little better attitude. But yeah, that was a fun little 1v1 action. A couple of heavy hitting factions, and see you around the bend.